G'day everybody, Alobar Jones here. Just sharing with you the latest mission that we've been on. Like, you know that we've been fighting... G'day everybody, Alobar Jones here, leader and founder of the EarthGuard Astral Projection Group. You know that we've been fighting long and hard to eliminate demonkind, and we're getting really close. But we're also a little bit disappointed in the response that the world has taken to the Epstein files and the revelations that, you know, the Satan worshippers are distorting everything on this planet to the evil will. It's kind of ridiculous that they haven't been lynched. So that's what we've been working on today. Because they have so much spell work all about pacifying the peasants so that they don't revolt. And it's not as though we don't have plenty to be angry about. We really do. And so which part of the world you're angry about, whether it be individual personalities, the fact that they can't stop making wars or closing them out, the way they've mismanaged the economy after 80 years of uninterrupted prosperity, or, well, anything, or the demonic pedophilia stuff and the demonic sacrifice stuff, like any one of those things is a valid reason to be upset. So what we did was we went into orbit and we looked at all of the spells that surrounded the whole globe to do with passivity. And there were thousands. They've done this so many times on so many variants on the same theme. It's ridiculous. They also managed to hook in the moon, Saturn, and one of the asteroids in the asteroid belt in this solar system. Which were all projecting energy of passivity and sit down, it's not your problem, other people take care of it, you know, the powers that be are too big, and on and on and on. So many variants on that theme, so many reasons to not revolt, to not grab the pitchforks and the torches. So that's what we did. We undid So that's what we did. We undid all of the work that they did around, well, spelling the peasants to stay passive. It was a 2-hour mission with a really good team. And what we found is it just kept growing. Like first we looked at the ones around the Earth, and then that led us to the moon and a base there, and they had a being. I don't know if you saw the movie The Big Lebowski with Jeff Bridges, but this being embodied that energy of absolute apathy so perfectly. And it was a blob of an energy. It didn't even use arms and legs. But they were magnifying its energy and projecting it onto the world so that we're all lazy slobs. Yeah, isn't that handy? And still hundreds of spells were being projected out of the moon. Fewer out of Saturn and even fewer out of that asteroid, but that was so much garbage that we had to undo. And you know, it was liberating. We did see people sort of shake themselves off, like kind of like a wet dog shaking itself off from all of that spell work and all of that attitudes. But what we also found was that projection of energy, that spell work, that maintaining of a field of passivity had gotten into some people's heads. Of course, that was the point of the exercise. But enough of them that it created a critical mass so that it would form a part of the human collective consciousness to stay passive. So with a little bit of mission creep, you know, as if clearing the Earth wasn't enough, we had to go to the moon, we had to go to Saturn, we had to go to the asteroid belt, and now we're going into collective consciousness because that's just what we needed to do to fulfill the task. it was, you know, everybody's a little bit bleary-eyed and exhausted. Go, I need coffee. It was really quite entertaining. It was, you know, the mission creep just kept going and going. So we cleared a lot of collective consciousness. There were a lot of, around the Earth, there were a lot of different locations that projected more passivity and maintained and aided the entire global field of not doing anything about being stuffed over. Bit of a disappointment. So, you know, and in the end, what this bumped up against, like all of this draining of passivity out of the collective consciousness and out of the field of Earth, bumped up against something that we found in Antarctica. Like, as it turns out, Antarctica thinks it's the capital of the Earth. They could be right. In some kind of logic it is. And they think that they own us all like cattle. And I thought, ooh, you know, because you want your cattle to be passive, you know, you don't want your cattle to be attacking the farmers, right? Which is exactly what this team is all about. But before we finished, when we found a group of about 35 dark wizards, and we counted 7 different species from all around the galaxy who are all about maintaining that spell that the Earthlings are the possessions of that group. And, you know, our team just wasn't strong enough to contest them after such an arduous flight. You know, but also we've had somebody, I don't want to go into it. So, you know, hopefully this week the world will be following Italy and going on a general strike and burning all of the bills, refusing to pay any bills. And we'll just see how that plays out. You know, I understand it happened in India with great success and in Italy, but of course you won't find this anywhere in the news because nobody wants, all of these controlled voices don't want to report on it. But, you know, check it out. I think TikTok will be the right one to look at for, you know, on the ground news about what's going on in Italy this week. So we're hoping that the world will do that rather than violence, but we'll see. You know, it's going to happen sooner or later. And our team's all about giving it a little push. So my love to you all. Stay well. May the force be with you. And bye for now.